This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Today's discussion is the 11 stories that we're following today. It's December 27th, 2023, towards the end of the year. First, the markets jumped nearly half a percentage point yesterday, but are relatively flat today. But again, it's been a great last couple months in the markets. Second, a great story in Bloomberg that JP Morgan was the one big bank stock that had a great year. JP Morgan is up nearly 26% year to date. The story is it was a tough year for almost every bank stock not named JP Morgan. Third, Tesla hit a record for auto deliveries this year. It's expected to deliver between 1.8 million to 1.9 million vehicles this year. It's up nearly 37% year over year. It's got the best margins in the industry, and this is very important because it's causing some of the other big car companies to retreat some from their electric car visions and efforts. Our family finally gets its toe into the Tesla waters. We just did. We'll see how that goes. The jury's still out. The first thing we found the day we got home was a flat tire on the car. They quickly replaced it. No complaints yet, but we'll hope that that's not foreshadowing of problems to come. Fourth, United Healthcare has done the best of all the pair stocks this year. Just like JP Morgan did the best of the bank stocks. But United Healthcare is still down a couple percent, but Aetna is down nearly 15%. Cigna is down nearly 10%. United Health Group's way ahead of the group, down only a couple percent. And again, United Health Group's as much a provider today as it is a payer, with half of its business being in the provider business through Optum. Again, the fifth story, CVS Aetna, in contrast to United, is down 50% year to date. Cigna is down around 10% year to date. Sixth, the Wayfair CEO, taking a page out of the old school, essentially said yesterday that employees need to work harder. Wayfair, which has been in financial trouble, fell yesterday, but it's up 97% year to date. But you know, it's fascinating to hear a CEO talk like that in today's world, and kind of welcome in some ways. Seventh, Intel rose 5% yesterday. It's also announced a major building project and investment in Israel. Eighth, today's podcast is age and wisdom versus youth and strength in sports and in business, and where that intersection hits. There'll be a separate podcast on that topic later today. It's always a fascinating discussion of age and wisdom versus youth and athleticism, or youth and intelligence, whatever you want to call it. You know, in a separate note, I'll note LeBron James, talking of age, has now scored almost 40,000 points in the NBA. He's the leading all-time scorer. He's no Michael Jordan, but what he has achieved is really magnificent. In any discussion of age in sports, it's hard not to discuss Tom Brady, LeBron James, and a couple others. Amazing what he has done. Massive strength to go with great court IQ in LeBron James. Ninth, Walgreens Boots Alliance is now down about 29% year to date. This may seem horrible, but it's better than it was. It's actually responding well to its new CEO and its directions. 10th, my friends often tease me about over-wearing my Harvard clothing. The great joke about Harvard people is they'll tell you that within about 30 seconds of meeting them. Oh, by the way, have I told you that I went to Harvard? It's literally embarrassing, and my friends tease me about it, and I try not to do it. But now with Harvard, it being such taking such a ridiculous stance on their CEO or president who is plagiarized and so forth, and also has ranted on, you know, about how killing Jews doesn't count as harassment on campus or bad God on campus. It's almost embarrassing now to wear the Harvard clothing with what a cesspool of sort of, you know, efforts they've made to repaint themselves politically versus just trying to be a place of wisdom and a great university in thinking. Really a disgusting thing. 11th, today's shout out goes to my colleague, Jim Harris, truly a genius. Few better or smarter people than Jim Harris. Finally, PS today, just authored a book, Blocking and Tackling 60 Keys to Building a Business and Managing Your Money. Feel free to buy it on Amazon. It's only on Amazon right now. We may get to an audio edition of it. We haven't decided. Got to figure out how to actually put it out on the other networks and stuff like that as well. But Blocking and Tackling, 60 Keys to Building a Business and Managing Your Money, from Scott Becker and Grace Keller. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to our magnificent producer, Chanel Bunger, the best in the business. Thank you very much for joining us.